These are the breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes. It is June the 27th, and I'm going to talk a lot. These are the breaks. These are the breaks. You know what it is. Well, these are the breaks, and we are here on Infanity TV. So, what I got to bring to you here on this table tonight, I got some NBA talk. I mean, this is the most exciting part of the NBA where we're all just keeping our eyes out, our ears out, and what's going to happen in free agency. But before free agency starts, the NBA draft was this past week, and guess what? Victor Wembanyama is now a San Antonio Spur. He is going to be the next star? ? Or is he going to be the next bust? ? I certainly believe he's going to be a star. Woo-hoo! And this is why he's going to be a star. Because he is maybe the most athletic big man we've seen. We've seen a guy like Pau Gasol. We've seen guys like Hakeem Olajuwon. And, we saw a little bit of Yao Ming. We can certainly see what Nikola Jokic did this past NBA Finals. But Victor Wembanyama, he is I don't know, he's out of this world. He's like one of those Space Jam characters that you see. He's too big, he's too athletic, and he can just put the ball in the hoop at any way he possibly can, because you look at centers, you feel like, okay, he's going to go post up. You look at guards, okay, he's going to crossover, step back jumper. You look at some guys, some forwards out there, you see they're going to play the mid-range game, and, they have a little bit of an outside shot. But this guy right here, I mean, he got it all. He can shoot from the outside. He can fade away jumper like if he was Kobe from the three-point corner. Then, he can go down low, post you up, fade away jumper like KD does. And when KD does that move, no one can guard that move. But when Victor does it, it's like KD's nowhere near his face. It's like me playing against this Shaq right here. It's if I take this Shaq right now, even though this Shaq right here is so small, but if I take him, and me and him are on the court, look at the size difference. This is what Victor's going to be playing against. People like this. Imagine when Greg Popovich, he got a great mind for basketball. Amazing mind. You know that there's going to be a lot of pick and rolls. They're going to be switching defenders on. And Victor's going to get stuck with the 6'5" guard or 6'7" forward guarding him at times. What's going to happen there? All Victor got to do is okay, you're going to give me a 6'7" guard. All right, no problem. Boom. One jumper. He's going to be up to his chest. So there's no way. And you tell me right now, if you look at this, you're like, center might be able to stay on him. No. Take a guess. Take an idea. Look back at footage and see how many 7-footers play more than 20 minutes a game. This is a new era of basketball. There's nobody that cannot shoot the three. Any center out on the court besides Nikola Jokic and even Bam Adebayo, who's maybe the second leading minutes in the NBA right now, he is not a true center. He is a forward who is only about 6'10". Nowhere near Big Victor's size. Nowhere near that. So there's not even a Joel Embiid. You really think Joel Embiid is going to be able to guard Victor Wembanyama? No! Crazy. If Joel Embiid can't even guard Al Horford, what makes you think he's going to be able to guard Victor? You ask yourself that question. I can certainly say so right now that he's going to be a star. Huge star. Maybe the biggest star of them all. But one person who is certainly has the potential to be bigger than him, That's Brandon Miller, who was taken second overall by the Charlotte Hornets. Brandon Miller out of Alabama this past season took Alabama all the way down in the March Madness tournament, and he is the steal of the NBA. I mean, you guys saw me a few weeks ago talking here on this show, The Breaks. You can catch it every single day here on Infanity TV, 12 o'clock Pacific. You heard me say it, that he is going to be the person, the guy in this draft that everyone's going to sleep on, because they're going to be like, oh, Victor, he's so big. He's such a star. And yes, he's certainly going to be that, but injuries can happen. San Antonio's not a good city to get that publicity that maybe if he was in a city like New York, Chicago, Golden State, Los Angeles, he'll get that different attention. He'll be on every commercial in America. But Brandon Miller is going to a good spot. Brandon Miller is going to Charlotte. Even though Michael Jordan's this close in selling the team. But guess who also got drafted by the Hornets? Maybe never played a minute for the Hornets, but became one of the biggest steals of the NBA? This man right here. Yes, he was drafted in 1996 by the Charlotte Hornets, then later traded for Vlade Divac. But Charlotte really has something special right here. They have a guy like LaMelo Ball. They got someone like Miles Bridges, who did not play all season long last year due to some domestic violence stuff that happened that I don't really want to get involved with, but he is expected to come back to the court. So, what can LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and the coaching staff with Steve Clifford, what can they do? Brandon Miller certainly said, he's like, hey, you know what? We're going to go to the NBA Finals. Really? You really think that? I mean, I see the potential you guys have. I can maybe see you guys in the NBA Finals in the next 3 years. The way that LaMelo Ball can really affect the game, because when he's out on the court, he affects it very, very well. You have guys like LeBron James, guys like Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry talking about LaMelo when he's healthy and when he's out there on the court. He's balling. He was an all-star last season as well. But those are the challenges that Charlotte is facing. One challenge that, the West is going to have to face with is going to be CP3, Chris Paul. He's over with the Warriors. Like, whoa. When did CP3 become best friends with Steph Curry? Well, that happened about 3 days ago when that trade happened, and they both took it to social media. They both went on to social media. They were chatting it down like they were like best friends and talking about the memories and talking about the time I juked you and you broke your ankles, talking about the times that, different stories that's been around the NBA, because they've both been around the league for almost 15 years. What can that really be? Like, can Steph Curry and Chris Paul really work together? I mean, both of those two guards don't even play defense at all. Yes, Klay Thompson's there. Draymond Green might not be there, according to some reports, because earlier last night, there were some reports out there that said that Draymond Green will be taking some meetings with other teams. That is huge. That's big time. Because anytime a player's willing to take meetings, because you have other players like a guy like Austin Reeves, who knows he wants to stay in Los Angeles, knows that he is going to agree to a contract with the Lakers. He's always said, like, hey, look, I want to be here. This is where I want to be. He's not out there saying, well, hey, look, I'm going to go shop around. I'm going to see what's out there for me. That's not what he's saying. Draymond Green is out there saying, well, I'm going to shop around. I'm going to see what people want to offer me and see what type of attention he's going to get. He's certainly going to get attention from maybe a team like Miami. I heard that the team like Memphis is going to search for him, because just imagine, stop here for a second. I'm going to stop you right now. You look at Draymond Green joining the Memphis Grizzlies. Can you imagine what type of team that can be? Yes, we understand they're so immature out there, but a guy like John Morant, if he really steps up, yes, he's going to be out for almost, 25 games, 30 games. But they just got another dog in Marcus Smart, who was traded from the Celtics to the Memphis Grizzlies. That's a key player to maybe Draymond now coming over, bringing some more veteran presence to this team. A guy like Dylan Brooks, the clown of the NBA, is now a free agent, and he was given notice that Memphis does not want his asset here no more. They don't want him no more. They say, get out of here. Under no circumstances will he return to this team. That's what they said. That's bad. That's like, hey, even though you have a parking spot here, that you can't park here no more. You can't. You're not allowed here to the facility. No more. Don't even come pick up your last check. Don't even come pick up your shoes. You're out. Just like I'm out right now, and I will see you guys right now when I return here on These Are the Breaks, because I want to talk a little bit more basketball for you Laker fans out there. We'll return here.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss, raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood.
Yup. These are the breaks. It is a great Tuesday afternoon here in Los Angeles. Nice and sunny out there. I'm happy that this is the summertime. This is the time that we want to be out here and get burned up. Not really. But it's Summer League's right around the corner, where a lot of the stars are going to be taking it to the hot desert. And, we're going to be able to see the debut of Victor against Brandon Miller. That is going to be a game to watch right there. So make sure everyone stay tuned to watch that. But I did go right before commercial break, and I did mention, hey, there is some talk in Lakerland right now, because the Lakers really, really, really need to pay attention right now. You can't waste LeBron's last year, because I don't want to say it's going to be due to injury or due to him just certainly calling it off, because he almost called it off after this past season after getting swept by the Nuggets. I believe LeBron James only has one more year left. One more year left. That's all I see. I cannot see LeBron James playing 23 seasons in the NBA. Even though he kept saying, hey, I want to wait for Bronny James, who is going on his way to USC right now. I want to play with Bronny James, or maybe against Bronny James. I cannot see LeBron James playing past this season. So, even if he does, this is the way Rob Pelinka and the Laker organizations need to look at this season. They need to go into this season knowing that this might be the last season for LeBron James. So what does that say? They have to invest every single piece they possibly can in this team to help them possibly win number 18. There are going to be certain challenges they're going to have to go and overcome. They're going to have to overcome the Phoenix Suns. They just freshly acquired Bradley Beal, kept DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. Big hot mess right there. Then they might have to deal with the northern part of California. Look at Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, CP3, seeing what happens down there. Then what about a few miles north of them? You got the Sacramento Kings, who are saying, hey, let's light the beam. Yeah, they might be lighting the beam a lot more up there in Sacramento. They're very good. Very, very good. You got to deal with them. Who knows what's going to happen in Portland? You got Victor Wembanyama out there in San Antonio. You got a young Houston team. But you also got the defending champs. It's going to be very, very tough. The Lakers need to make a big splash this season. A type of splash that they made in 2004 when they went to go ahead and get Karl Malone and Gary Payton. Maybe another splash when they went out to get a star like Dwight Howard in 2012. Maybe go back to what they did in 2019. They got Anthony Davis. They got to do a splash like this to take over the landscape of the NBA, because right now, the Lakers are nowhere near the top 5 team in the league. Maybe top 8, top 9. I can name you 8 other teams better than the Lakers right now. The Lakers, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, look at this season. This is the last thing. But who can you really put in that position? There's one player that can really make the splash, and that's trading for Trae Young. Trae Young is that type of guy who can come into this organization and really expand the floor for LeBron James. He is a playmaker. He is a big shot maker. He's taken the Atlanta Hawks with nobody last season to the Eastern Conference Finals with the Boston Celtics. He took them again to the playoffs this season with DeJounte Murray. You can really see that Trae Young, yeah, he maybe don't play any defense at times, maybe like a Steph Curry, but when you look at Steph Curry, the way he changes the game on the offense, he really doesn't have to play any big-time defense individually, because you're going to have other guards in that team. You're going to have the protection of Anthony Davis behind you. And let's not forget, Trae Young is a Clutch Sport client. Rich Paul is his agent. The Atlanta Hawks, they want to trade him. They were just talking about trading him during the playoffs. It was a huge distraction for the team. Huge. But what are they going to do? That is my personal opinion. That's what I believe the Lakers got to do. Yeah, they might be able to trade for Damian Lillard because, hey, guess what happened last night? Last night, the Portland Trailblazers and Damian Lillard had a meeting together talking about the future of the superstar in Damian. What did Damian and the Portland, how did that conversation end? I'm sure later on today, it's only 12, 15, 12, 20 right now? There's going to be some more speculation coming out later about what that meeting was about last night. So, in a few hours, maybe minutes, maybe right now, let me look at my phone. Who knows? Right now, news might break. Hey, Dame is looking to be seeking a trade elsewhere because they just drafted his replacement right now. It's like a slap in the face for an athlete looking for more money, looking to improve this team, but you go out and draft my replacement? Like, that's what he's dealing with right now. That might be a good piece. Hey, Dame, if he comes over to Los Angeles, I don't think he's a better option than, Trae Young. I still believe that maybe Trae is better overall, younger, healthier. But there is one player. There's one player that I keep reading about that wants to come to LA. But LA doesn't want him. It's James Harden. I don't want James Harden. But LA might take a chance at him. But when we return here on the breaks, I will talk a little bit more about the WNBA. Major League Baseball is here when we return.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Yep, these are the breaks with myself, Fredo Cervantes, live from the Infanity Studios here in Los Angeles. And of course, everyone that is following us here on social media, you've all been seeing all of the great coverage we're bringing you from the WNBA with the Los Angeles Sparks. And currently right now, it is time to talk some Sparks, because I want to give you the spark through the camera and let you know that Los Angeles really got a good team here in LA. They really got a good one. It's like if I'm out there fishing and you hear me scream like, hey, I got a good one down here. That's what I'm saying about the LA Sparks. I got a good one right here in Los Angeles. If you have not been to an LA Sparks game, not even this year or last year or in the 25 years they've been around, if you have not seen the Sparks in person, you gotta come and make your way down to the Crypto.com arena and watch them play. It's not even an expensive ticket. It's not an expensive ticket. It's very much affordable. Maybe much better than going to like a movie theater. Like if you're gonna go to the movie theater for maybe 2 to 3 hours, guess what? It's not gonna be the same as watching live entertainment. All right? It's not live entertainment. It's pre-recorded. It's a movie. You can maybe watch it later on. But you cannot watch live entertainment all over again. It's going to be a replay. It's going to be highlights, maybe on SportsCenter. But you got to make your way down to Crypto.com arena because the Los Angeles Sparks are really building something new right now. They're building something new. And if you want to watch all that coverage, you can see it 24/7 here on InfinityTV.com, or just go to Instagram, go to social media, go to LA Sparks Weekly. And we put everything out there from interviews, conferences, our reaction and analysis. We bring it all to you. You know, myself, Fredo Cervantes, and my guy, Michael Matthew as well. So make sure you follow there. But one of the biggest questions that I remember I asked Nneka Ogwumike, the first question I maybe asked her all season long, which was in training camp, I asked her, like, what do you have to do individually? Like, individually, what do you have to do to take this team to the next level and to possibly win your second WNBA championship? And she's like, you know what? She was like, it's not my focus to focus on that. I know that her work ethic, her ability to perform and, you know, help this team out on a daily basis, that itself is going to help her reach that goal. Like, she certainly is on a 1-year contract right now, and she really wants to put it all out on the court. And we're seeing that from her right now. As Coach Kurt Miller stated yesterday, that this is arguably her best season of her career. Best numbers overall, all around the board. Top 10 leading in the WNBA in all statistics. When you look at Nneka Ogwumike, who was just named an WNBA All Star Starter on Sunday morning, she is now on her back-to-back starter appearances in the All-Star game. You know, she's been to 8 selections so far in her career. So to see what Nneka is doing to this team and seeing the transformation that the LA Sparks have done with the new system with Coach Kurt Miller, Karen Bryant in the front office, making all the right moves, drafting certain players, bringing in some hardship contracts. And you got to give some great shout outs to two individuals. These two individuals have really given the spark this season, which let's start off with Carly Samuelson. Carly Samuelson began the season with the Sparks on the training camp roster, then later released, then later picked up immediately like that. She got released one day. The following morning, she got picked up on a hardship contract due to some, there was like a flu going around. There's some sickness going around the team that, certain players missed a few games early in the season, but that only gave her the opportunity to get back onto a team. And with that being said, as of today, June the 27th, 2023, Carly Samuelson is the best shooter all around, statistically wise, in the WNBA. So that lets you know that even though at one point, about a month ago, she was not going to have a job, then a month later, she is the best shooter from the free throw line, from the three-point line. Like, on Sunday afternoon, on primetime television on ABC against the Dallas Wings, Carly Samuelson shot 4 for 5 from the three-point line. 4 for 5. That's great. That's amazing. That's, like, better than maybe any other NBA player at times. Carly Samuelson just really loads it up, shoots it up, and it goes in the hoop. She certainly deserves a lot of credit for the team's success. She's down on the floor getting dirty every play out there. She's that type of player. She likes to get down and dirty to make the winning plays. And at times, every team needs a player like Carly Samuelson. But Destiny Henderson, who is on her third game with the LA Sparks thus far, and another hardship contract, and she helped individually on both sides of the floor, beating down on the Dallas Wings on Friday night and Sunday afternoon. 2 huge games after being on the 3-game losing streak. Friday night was her best night. Friday night was like remarkable. It was like one performance I've never seen before. She was able to play great defense. She was able to come in, make the 3-point plays that, it's hard at times. It's hard when your team is not finding ways to make a basket, and you give it to a hardship contract person who's really just here on her last fumes, and she really lighted up and helped her chance in maybe making a roster spot, because there were a few Sparks players who did speak highly of her and be like, hey, she has earned her stripes here thus far in the last 2 games. She really deserves an opportunity to showcase her basketball skills, because Indiana practically gave up on her. They let her go early in the season after only 1 year in the league and being drafted out of South Carolina. And she was teammates with Zia Cook, who is currently the rookie who was drafted 10th overall by the LA Sparks in the 2023 WNBA draft. So LA really got a spark in this team that they are going to possibly make a run later this season. So again, if you have not seen a Sparks game, go down there, go to the crypto.com arena and watch this great team, because they are great. But I do want to let you guys know, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break. And you know what? Let's not take a break. Because I don't want to take a break right now and have to come back with you guys. I'm just going to let it go for you guys right now. Shohei Ohtani, the biggest superstar in baseball right now, and maybe in over 150 years, because that's exactly what we've been dealing with. He's going to walk away from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Yes, I said the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. He's going to walk away. He wants the spotlight. He wants to go to a bigger stage where he can actually win. But that's certainly not going to be in Anaheim. And it can be in a Dodger uniform. It can be in a Yankee uniform. or it can be at maybe a San Francisco Giant uniform, because we know the market up there in the Bay Area is pretty good. So what's going to happen with Shohei? I don't know. You got to watch that. But hey, I got a chance to see Shohei last week in person, and he was spectacular. Striking out 8 Dodgers. Just looked great out there. He did not get a hit that night. But he was maybe... I've seen a lot of pitchers. I've seen a lot of baseball through my years. I saw a guy like Roger Clemens pitch, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. I saw him pitch twice. Great. I saw Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux is one of my favorite pitchers of all time, and I saw him pitch. He was very good. And, of course, I've seen the great Clayton Kershaw, one of the best pitchers of all time. I've seen hundreds of performances by Kershaw, but nothing like Shohei Ohtani. Nothing like Shohei. But, hey, you know what? Make sure you catch tomorrow here on The Breaks. Again, 12 o'clock. And make sure on Thursday again. And on Friday again. And then on Sunday, you can catch a Profanity Nation at night. And guess what? Catch me on Monday Night Fredo next Monday. We'll see you next week.